This is Poké Collab, where we collect, train, and battle together. My name is Orin. I am from Block and Pixel, and I am joined here with
Ivan, what's going on, guys? I'm
Yo
from
Ivan.
Chard.
Good to have you, Ivan. Glad to be here. It's been a little bit longer than usual in between recordings, which has kind of given us the opportunity to rest and relax and rejuvenate. I'm kind of glad that we had a little bit of a break in between episodes because now we have too much to talk about, honestly.
Yeah,
So we let me go over the outline real quick, so that way you know what we're going to be talking about today. First of all, today is January 18th, 2025. We're going to talk about the state of buying Pokemon cards from retail stores. And that includes big box stores and your local card shops, local game stores. We're gonna do a deep dive of our our personal thoughts on what's taking place. And then in a previous episode, I had talked about displaying coins from our various Pokemon blister packs and lunch boxes where you get all those coins that actually are pretty darn cool. I had talked about a display that I was going to try out for my coins, and I just want to demonstrate it because unfortunately it did not work, and I just want to show you why. Next, we're going to talk about a little bit regarding the change in the standard format, how rotation is happening, when that's happening, and then we're also going to talk a little bit about the Switch 2 announcement from Nintendo. So we'll get right into it. I'm going to let Ivan take the stage regarding the state of buying Pokemon cards from retail
yeah.
stores. I want to hear what you have to say, Ivan. Now, Prismatic Evolution, is it evolution or evolutions?
Evolutions.
Evolutions. So
Yeah,
Prismatic Evolutions came out yesterday. And
yeah.
I know that you, along with a couple of our other friends, went searching at various stores for some Prismatic Evolutions. First, I want to hear about your experience yesterday, your personal experience with the stores that you visited and what you saw and what grinded your gears.
Yeah. Oh man. I have a lot to talk about. Well, first of all, it started off kind of bad because I was under the impression that GameStop was going to open at 12 p.m. on th Fridays and Saturdays. They open at 10. So yeah,
Really?
no, I was already off. I was already off to a bad start,
That's
because
unfortunate.
yeah. So we end up going to a GameStop here that's like literally like when I say the bare minimum of like a mall, it's the bare minimum of a mall. Like I'm shocked that this GameStop is still in business. And that's actually where Kayla actually, my wife, got my Charizard premium collection item, the
The
premium box.
super premium
Yeah, the super premium.
with
Because
the figurine.
yeah, because it was like who's gonna go there? Like nobody goes there. So we get up, we get ready, we get going, and then we get to the GameStop that was going to be on my store because I was actually on my list, Orin, that we were going to go. I think after breakfast we wanted to do something.
Well, that's not for Prismatic Evolutions. That's for Blooming Waters, the
Oh
Blooming
yeah,
Waters
that's right.
box. Yeah.
Okay. So anyhow, that was the same spot. So we went there and I get in there and she's like, they're like, there's like two employees, they're doing whatever, stocking like putting boxes away. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, she's like, hey, can I help you guys? I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for Prismatic Evolutions. She's like, yeah, we don't have any. There was a line that was already out there at 6 in the morning.
Wow.
6 in the morning, bro. They waited 4 hours. And I was like, okay, well. And then she proceeds to say, and no other GameStop around the area has them. They're all sold out. Which I don't know how she knew. I don't know. But I took it. I took it with a grain of salt. I took it. I took it as like, okay, possibly she's right.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't proceed to go anywhere. Like I was
Yeah.
just like, okay. So from there, we ended up going to Costco, and Costco didn't have anything. I don't even know, like, they didn't have anything.
Which Costco?
Costco and Avon.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't
So
seen any trading card stuff there in a long time.
yeah, the last thing I got was the 151 ETB
Yeah.
along with the two tins, and I'm kicking
Right.
myself for not saving that ETB. But it is what it is. Um, we ended up then from there going to Meyer because we were like, well, I don't know where else we could go because I'm figuring all the game stops are so it's already like late in the afternoon anyway. We've contacted by phone. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We contacted two places by phone. We contacted where we went for the Surging Sparks pre-release
Yeah.
event. They were selling them for like 130. The
For
ETB.
for an
For
ETB,
ETB. ETB.
130 for an ETB,
Yeah.
which has
And
an MSRP of $50.
$50.
130.
Yeah.
Okay.
The poster set, the poster like or no, I'm sorry, the binder,
Yeah.
that was going for 90,
And what is that MSRP?
40,
Okay.
around 40.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna look it up because I want to make sure that I
Yeah,
got
please look it
how
up.
much
Yeah.
these dudes were selling. I'm going to GameStop because this is the best thing. So I'm like, dude, that's crazy. So on our way, as we're already going towards Avon, so we were going to go to we're going to go to tabletop. That was the
Yeah.
one we called 130. So then we ended up going to Mr. Magic, which is right here by Sheffield,
Yeah.
and I ended up just going in there anyway. I just like, well, let's just see what they have.
Yeah.
Dude, 130. But they had like a lot. They had a lot in there. $130. No, I'm sorry. $120. So it's $10 less.
Okay.
But like packs were like 15. And the binder again was like up in the 80s.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is not. At that point, it was like, no, we're not paying that much for that.
Yeah, let me know once you find MSRP on those.
Yeah, let me see. Prismatic Evolutions. But it was just like, why? Okay,
Well,
it's going
yeah,
for
I
29 on GameStop.
for what?
The binder.
The binder collection is 29.99.
Yeah.
How
Well,
much is
28 it's 28.49 for the pros.
okay? And
29.99 for non-pros.
what about the poster
The
collection?
poster.
I'm
It's
looking it
going
up too.
for 15. 14.99,
Yeah.
14.24 for pros.
Yeah. So
So
14.99 for the
dude,
poster collection. Okay, so let's go over this again. So poster collection, MSRP 14.99. How much were you seeing it for?
how much was I what?
How much were you seeing that for, the poster collection?
The poster collection, this one was 70 and the binder was more. It was 90.
So the binder collection is 29.99. You saw it for 90.
Yeah.
So 3x the cost. The poster collection, how much?
70.
So like 5x the cost. And then the ETB, how much were you seeing it for?
120.
So like 3x the cost. So the ETB was actually the best deal. Um, Now this is a serious issue. But before we really get into the issues, you had another experience too. You talked about Meyer. What happened at
Yeah.
Meyer?
Okay, so then once we went to these two spots, or once we called the top table, and then we went to Mr. Magic,
Yeah.
it was more like a scratch. We're like, you know what, whatever. So we had to go get some stuff at Meyer. So we got all the stuff we needed, and then the way this Meyer is low situated. There's two entrances to Meyer. You have your fresh
Yeah.
produce X section, and you have your market section, right? All like the home goods and stuff like that.
So
So
kind of like Walmart, how Walmart has two entrances.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
So we always go into the produce or like the marketplace because we always get our groceries there, and then we head over to we do like a loop, you know.
Yeah.
So on our way doing the loop, we come back and we're about ready to leave, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just go see what's going on at the cards. So we went over to the cards, and the way it's sectioned off, like they're all like length, like aisles like this, right?
Okay.
And we're passing by, and there's this lady, and she has like this full on cart, full of boxes. And I look behind her, and there's like dudes. There's like maybe like 6 or 7 dudes
Okay.
that are like standing behind her, but like kind of like a distance.
Was she an employee?
Not an employee. Not an
Okay.
employee. So she was well, actually one of the deliverers of like she comes in a truck, like she sends her shipment or
So,
whatever she
okay.
gets.
So she works for one of the distribution companies that
Correct. Yeah.
supplies Meyer. Okay.
Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, well, there's like I see the line, so I'm like, well, let's just go. The kid's like, my wife's like, well, why don't you go ask see what they're waiting for? So I actually asked the lady there, and I'm like, hey, are you unloading Prismatic Evolutions? She's like, I have no idea. And I'm like,
Yeah,
is that what
right.
is I'm like, is that what these guys are waiting for? She's like, I don't know, really can't tell you.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. She should have just been able to tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So she had no idea. She claimed she had no idea.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of weird. So then let me go back. So I went around to the back of the other aisle and to make my way to the back of the line.
Yeah.
And so there's one guy I'm standing there and I'm talking to him. And I'm like, I went to like certain spots and they're like selling for 120, 119. And he's like, yeah, I bought mine. I forgot where he bought his, but he said that he's like, did you try Best Buy? And I'm like, no, I didn't try Best Buy. And I probably should have, but at that point I was like already in line. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait. And he's like, yeah, he paid. I forgot how much he paid for his. I think he paid about 119, 120, but
Okay.
I don't remember where he went for his. So he already had one.
Okay.
At that point, like, bro, why are you here? Why are you here? Seriously, like, if you already have one, like, I don't know if he was just like also like me, like, oh wow, look at these people are standing there. I wonder what they are. Oh, it must be Prismatic Evolutions. I'm gonna
No,
walk in line.
he was probably just on the hunt for as many as he could get that day.
Possibly,
Yeah.
possibly, but he seemed like a legit dude. Okay, so I'm standing behind him, and then there's like another like girl, and then in front of her is so I was 10th in spot, so that's like 8 other dudes that are in front of her. So, and those dudes like, okay, I mean, I don't know, like that, it almost seemed like they knew each other, just by like the way that they're talking and stuff. So I'm like, okay. So as I'm like, we're waiting there she's taking her sweet old time. The lady that was like had the boxes and all that,
The
taking her
stocking lady.
sweet old time.
Okay.
Not even like didn't care, was not even like worried about us at all. So time was like adding up. And so I'm like, you know what, Kayla, why don't you go over there and try to see what you can see? Like go in the front of the aisle. And so she's like taking pictures and stuff. So I can see where she's already put the prismatic. And so my wife's telling me that, I'm gonna search for it right now. She's saying that there's like looking like there's only 6 ETBs.
Okay.
But as I blew up the picture, there's actually like three sections, but there's like three back, three deep. So
Yeah.
three across, three deep, so there's only 12.
And how
Then she
many?
count
Oh, go ahead. Continue.
then she counts the binders. There's only 6 binders. And the posters, there's 16 posters. So this is like the lady's like taking her sweet old time. But as the time kept going, like my wife's like, okay, I want to see updates because I want to see how far back I am of like even possibly getting anything. So go ahead. What was your question?
How many, at this point, how many people were in front of you in the line?
So in front of me, there was 9 people.
So you were 10th in line.
I was 10th in line.
Okay. Which is pretty good.
Well, yeah. As we continue to like wait, and so she finally gets like out of the way. She's like, "Okay, guys, like I don't even know what she said actually. I don't think she said anything. She was just like, and what I was wondering is like, why didn't the guy in the front of the line like knew already like all that stuff was there? Like we could have just went behind her and just took whatever they needed and then get out of there. But I guess out of respect for her, I guess I don't even know. But we waited
Okay.
until she was completely done. But come to find out, I hear my wife say like, or she texted me, she's like, this lady's about to freak out because she's like wondering like if I leave, like there's going to be like a rush of people. Like she didn't want to be involved. So she was trying to get like a manager or something, and none of the managers wanted to get there. Not until like about 5 or 10 minutes later, then the managers and some employees started showing up. So then she gets out of the way, and then like we all say thank you to her, like thank you. But the dudes in front of me proceeded to like have, I didn't see they had carts. They proceeded to have carts.
Okay.
And the first dude, let me
Did the
see.
carts just come out of nowhere?
No, I think I didn't see the carts. Like
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't paying attention.
Got it.
And so like the first dude ended up taking like the first three of like the Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. Then he proceeds to take more of like the calendars. Like he just starts like taking stuff. Like he
I-
just didn't even.
I'll be honest, dude. I'm surprised that first guy didn't just take everything.
Dude, okay, so I'm looking at it now. He grabbed two of the binders. He proceeds to grab three TBs, and then the guy behind him proceeds to take two more ATBs for himself. He already grabbed three of the calendars or the posters, and then he grabs more ETBs. The second guy grabbed three ETBs. So the first right off the bat, he already got six gone. There's three more. Then there's like a whole bunch of blister packs.
Yeah.
Those guys took like four or five each.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't take more
They
than
were
they did.
okay. So I'm looking at it now. The guy passed the dude behind him the last ETB.
Okay.
So they all were together. I feel like they all were together. It was four
Oh,
dudes.
okay.
They all were together. Because yeah, nobody would pass somebody another thing.
Yeah.
So then by the time it got to us, they start pass. So then there was another. Yeah, this dude takes two ATBs, the last two, and then yeah, they're all were together. So that's like five dudes right there. One, two, three, four, five, six dudes right there,
Yeah.
all together. But what was weird is that like we were just passing by, and like I don't even know how they knew that she was gonna be there. That's what was so surprising to me, and like we
Yeah.
actually just stumbled upon it, and I was like, wow, like if I wasn't like if we didn't walk by, I wouldn't even like thought of Myers.
Dude,
So,
you
but
know,
dude, I was so irritated.
no, I believe it. I have heard stories locally from big box stores. I usually go to Target for most of my shopping. And I remember talking to a Target manager or an employee at one point, talking about Pokemon and like major releases, especially during COVID. And people, so like that lady that you're talking about with, like a distribution company that supplies big box stores with the cards, which is bizarre to me. It's that whole situation is weird to me that Target and Walmart don't just stock their own stores. Like it's a third party that stocks their stores with cards. I don't get that. But like the Pokemon scalpers knew the car of the person that worked for the distributor that would stock those stores. Like they would practically stalk that person. Um, and the person that they were telling me about was a female, and that person ended up quitting because like she couldn't handle the piranhas of the Pokemon scalpers constantly following her, and basically, well, you at least those guys seemed respectful. At least they allowed her to do her job, waited for her to finish. Like that's cool. But like, yeah, I've heard some horror stories of like major disrespect and pretty much stalking the
Yeah,
distribution person. So this isn't anything new, like and so you ask like I wonder how they even knew when that lady was stalking them. That might be that situation. They know her routes, they know her car, they know her like, and it's just bizarre to me that like this is how some people are making their living, I guess. Like they're
yeah,
they're just stalking distributors and buying and reselling sealed Pokemon cards. That's bizarre to me. I don't know.
yeah. So what was also interesting was like as soon as she saw that was done, like all was taken, she stood there because Kayla was telling my wife was telling me that yeah, she was standing right, like she saw all the chaos, and then she's like, "Well, I'll be here next week," like saying like, "Well, there's another shipment coming in next week" or something like that.
Okay.
So I think you're right. I'm pretty sure she very knew well. She very how do you say it? She knew
She,
very well. She knew very
yeah,
well of what was going on. Yeah.
yeah,
But she was just playing stupid, probably just be
right.
like, get off my back. Like I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. But I mean, okay, so the whole issue for me is so irritating because we all like the back of those dudes, the back of the six dudes that just took out whatever, they all knew each other. But like us that just didn't know anybody, like we were just there, we all were like on the honor roll. Like just take one, or at least two, and it's like of not the same, but like take one of one thing and then just keep it going.
Yeah,
But as you said, like, scalpers are just scalpers. They're just gonna, if it's there, and if, especially when they know each other, it's over. It's game over because it's
yeah,
just like they're all gonna be in it. And it was just very disheartening. It was like, I spent it all that I wasted all that time, and like you have your hopes of like, okay, I could possibly get something here. And I was like even calculating in my head, okay, if I don't get an ETB, I'll get a binder because at least the binder, Kayla likes, so she'll have it, and I can get we can both open up the three packs and are with it. So
yeah.
it's kind of like a win-win for me. But when it just came to like nothing, I was like, oh my God. It was like, come on.
So, who was the last person in line that actually got something? Like, so the first three guys, obviously, but then the,
So get this. So this put the cream on the top. So up on top, there's the blisters, right? So the guys were taking all the blisters, right? So I guess like I'm more focused on like the binder, the poster, and the ETB. So I'm looking around, seeing maybe there's something there. The guy behind me goes in, like Kaiser Current goes in front of me, and he goes up to the blister box and was checking to see if anything is in there. He found one. He's like, no way, dude, I got it. I'm looking at him like, you gotta be kidding me. So that right there really killed it. Like it was just like it was like the dagger, and then it just like drilled it even more. Cause I'm like, dude, why was I was so focused on what I wanted instead of just like being like for anything. If I would have just been for anything, I would have went up there too because I knew they were up there. But I'm like, oh, like they all were gone. But he was just like, oh, hey, I got one. I'm like, oh, I was so irritated at myself.
that's so
So
annoying.
that one was on me. So it's two. You got the scalpers, and then you got myself, and that just killed the whole vibe. The whole vibe was just like shot, and I was super irritated. And I didn't want to show it because it's like, they're just cards, and they're coming out again.
Yeah,
Like this isn't, but
supposedly.
there's a happy ending to the story.
Okay.
So my wife was like, she saw how distraught I was and stuff. So, and plus two, like we actually had an experience with Xavier, right? He got an ETB. He spent like what, some, I can't remember how much he spent,
Did
but
he buy an ETB? I don't think he bought an ETB.
maybe he just bought packs.
Yeah,
Did
let
he
me pull
buy?
it up. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Um,
So Xavier, we're giving you a shout out here.
he did not buy the ETB or the binder collection. He bought,
He spent $53.
yeah, hold on.
Poster
Okay.
and a sticker collection.
Yeah, he bought a poster collection and a sticker collection. He got 6 packs. And then from those 6 packs, he only got a single pull, which was the Max Rod A spec.
Which I mean is a decent card.
Yeah, but it's not what you want from Prismatic Evolutions.
No, no, you definitely don't.
Mm-mm.
So long story short, we end up like later in the evening, my wife's getting kind of sees like I'm kind of irritated.
Yeah,
Well, she actually goes on TCG, and for the amount of money that we were probably going to spend on an ETB and stuff like
yeah,
that, we end up getting all of the, not all, but like the majority of the EVs and the Prisma and the just the regular, not the SIRs, because the SIRs are already going ridiculous amount.
yeah.
So we didn't buy any of those. But we ended up buying some of the all of them actually. We bought EV, the EVEX, the Jolteon, the Umbreon, Flareon, Vaporeon. So they
Okay.
all were pretty decent. They were all like maybe within the $4 to $10 range. I think one we kind of spent. I think we spent a little bit more.
Unlike the so like the EXs and stuff.
Yeah, and
Okay.
the Prism ones. So
Yeah.
our total was like 60 to 70 bucks, I think.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Yeah, I'm
And like think
like Leafeon right now is $4.
yeah,
Glaceon is $4.
exactly.
Jolteon is $9.
Okay, I think
Flareon is
that's the one
nine
that was a little more.
bucks.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I
So,
mean that's not totally unreasonable.
mm-mm.
And the
So
odds
we
of
got
you
those
actually
cards.
pulling one are slim. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Like I would have waited 4 hours or 40 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever, get an ETB, and I get absolutely nothing.
Right. Right.
That's what also gets me irritating
Yeah.
or irritated. So
No, that's smart. That's smart of you guys.
yeah, I'm pretty happy now. I mean,
Yeah.
it worked out. But I mean, these
Good.
are the reasons why we wanted those actually, because of the EV, the
Yep.
EV prismatic,
Yeah,
the
you're
Terra,
better
the
off
Terra.
buying singles.
Bro, I mean, we've talked about this on the show, and it alleviates all that money spent. Like I spent probably as much as those dudes did, and I probably can guarantee you that he probably got nothing.
Hmm.
Maybe I mean, who's to say?
I mean, I'm
But
sure somebody pulled something, but odds are
that's
you wouldn't have pulled any of those, you know.
yeah, yeah, and we got them all. So well, the ones that we wanted. So
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of worked
Yeah.
out.
Good move. Good
Yeah,
move. No,
thanks.
I'm glad you guys did that. That's good. That's smart.
Yeah, so that's the end of my story.
Okay. Well, I
But it was
mean,
a crazy day.
yeah, I don't envy that day. I went into release day yesterday with the intention of not going anywhere, and I didn't go anywhere, and I'm
There
happy
you go.
for it. This brings up a lot of issues in the current market of Pokemon. At least, and it seems like it really started during the holiday season of 2024. Because pre-holiday season, I could go to my local GameStop and my local Target, and basically the shelves were packed full of Pokemon cards. Then holiday season 2024 hits, and people all of a sudden the public is, I don't know, like cards were just gone. The shelves were bare, empty. And it was bizarre because like I doubt they were bare just because of parents buying cards for their kids. It has to have been that plus scalpers, likely. So my question is, where were these scalpers pre-holiday season? Why were the shelves so stocked pre-holiday season? And I can't figure that one out. But now we're at this weird spot in time with Pokemon where the shelves continue to remain bare even with the unpopular sets. Like I can go to GameStop and maybe found like a Shrouded Fable like promo box.
Yeah.
But like other than that, I haven't really seen much on the store shelves. Especially not Prismatic Evolutions, right?
Hmm.
So now we're getting into a lot of issues here. Not only can you not get your hands on the new set, but you can't get your hands on any of it basically. Additionally, if you want to get your hands on it, you have to pay insane prices because for whatever, like, because of supply and demand, the market is able to fetch these high dollar prices on things because people are paying it.
Yeah.
So like we have to think about like it's a chicken and egg situation, right? So like which issue is really the root cause of the problem? Is the root cause the fact that there are scalpers, or is the root cause the fact that people are willing to pay the prices that they're fetching online? Um, and they're both problems, right? So like if none of us were willing to pay over MSRP, if all of us just made the choice, a hard stop, we are not paying over MSRP on ETBs and blisters and packs, then no one could charge those prices, period. Like it's only because people are willing to pay that that you're able to sell it for that. So is the problem that people are willing to pay that? But then again, if um yeah, I think that's the root cause because like I think the root cause is that people are willing to pay it because if people weren't willing to pay it, then they could never charge that. That's got to be
And
the issue.
what's
So,
stupid, yeah, I mean, what doesn't make sense either is that if we do stop, well, then now you got these places that have like over the amount that they need just sitting there.
but then they're forced to drop their prices
Yeah, that's true.
because if they want to sell them, they're going to
They're gonna
have
have
to
to.
drop their prices.
Yeah.
So now I want to talk. Okay, so obviously big box stores, Target, Best Buy, Walmart, Meijer, all of our big box stores, they're always going to charge MSP or less. We That's what's really nice about big box stores. You can trust that they're going to charge MSRP or less.
Yeah.
Big box stores are not going to sell for the market price. Big like Target's not going to go on TCG Player and be like, "Oh, this ETB is selling for 140. Let's change our prices across the nation to the CTB to 140." Like they're not going to do that. Now, but here's where I'm really struggling to know how I feel. And that's when it comes to our local card shops and our local game stores. Now, when it comes to our local card shops, they have to go through distributors to get their cards, to get their ETBs, to get their booster boxes. They have to go through an official distributor that has a contract with the Pokemon Company. Now, what stinks is a local card shop can go to a distributor and say, I want 500 ETBs. And the problem is, if it's a really popular set like Prismatic Evolutions is, let's say every local card shop says, I want 500 ETBs. And let's say there's, I don't know, 1,000 local card shops. That's 50,000 ETBs. But let's say the distributor only gets 20,000 ETBs.
Hmm.
That means every local card shop doesn't get what they want. They're going to get a fraction of what they want. So part of the problem is that there isn't enough supply for the demand. Um, I'm not going like I don't fault the Pokemon Company for that. Like maybe they couldn't legitimately do a higher production. I mean, there's all sorts of variables of why they might not have produced more. But the fact is they didn't supply enough to meet demand. So then your local card shops don't get enough supply. They don't get the supply that they want, which means that they're not going to be able to sell as much as they normally would, and they won't be able to make enough margin. They won't get enough sales you know, to what their projection is. And they're on such small margins to begin with that like I don't envy the position of an owner of a local card shop. But here's the problem. We've gotten to the point where our local card shops have begun to act like scalpers. And we're seeing our local card shops charging prices. They're charging market value rather than being guided by MSRP like big box retail stores are. And to a degree, I get it. Like I really like watching Mason from Cardinal Gaming, CNA Games in Kentucky. And he's been very candid about the struggle that they've been having. And so like he's kind of presented two issues to us as viewers. He's like, one, I could sell at MSRP, but then I will sell out of everything instantly because I'm selling at MSRP. So everything's just going to be gone. My shelves will be 100% bare. I will not have any stock to sell to people that are coming for leagues and for play Pokemon. I won't have any product. The other side of the coin, and here's what they're doing, is I can sell closer to market value, and then I actually have product on my shelves. And if you're willing to pay it, you're willing to pay it. If you're not, you're not. But at least I have something on my shelves for people that want to buy when they're here for league events and play Pokemon events and stuff.
Yeah.
I get both sides. And again, I don't know what I would do if I owned a local card shop, but I don't like it. I don't like that local card shops as retailers are acting like scalpers. It hurts. And it's really just another indication of where we are as a community of, people that play and collect Pokemon. And I really think that the only way to come to any sort of I don't even want to call it a solution, but the only way that we can start to normalize this is if we, as the players and collectors, refuse to buy at these prices. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So you mentioned a lot there.
I know. Yeah, I did. I've been thinking about this a lot.
No, I know. I mean, and so have I. Because me and my wife were talking about this yesterday because it almost feels like we left Meyer like distraught because it's like it's not Pokemon's fault because Pokemon they have I mean, think about it. They probably didn't want to release everything that they have because then yeah, it's gonna be like what you just said about
Yeah.
like they're the retailers now.
That would be bad business to send all of your product out at once.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so like we get that. Okay, that's fine. But you gotta flip the coin because it's like, well now the consumer knows very well that like don't buy everything. Like just be all everybody needs to be on an even level play field where it's like you want it as much as I do. And you probably already went out and got some. Like the guy that I was hearing some guys behind me that they already pulled the Umbreon. So why are you here? You already sold it. He was telling me that he's already sold it on eBay for like $400. So why are you here? Like you already pulled the God card. Like there's no reason for you to be here
Yeah.
to get more product that I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, where's the honor? Like I said before, where's the honor roll? Like where's the honor system in this?
Yeah.
Because it almost seems like there's no honor. There's nothing. It's like, oh, I'm there. I'm greedy. I'm getting it. Like, and it's kind of funny because it's like these are grown men. Like these aren't kids. But when it comes to this product, they're just cards.
Yeah.
And the people that go above and beyond themselves, it's like they show their child. It's like their child qualities, and it's just like who raised you? Because like it seriously is mind boggling to me that somebody would actually be like, oh, I'm gonna take 4 or 5 ETBs. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna sell these. But then it's again, like you said, it goes back to the scalper mentality of, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and sell these for 140 because I know somebody's gonna buy those. This was the exact same thing that was happening. I told my wife, this is the exact same thing that was happening with the PS5s.
Yeah.
PS5s were off the shelves every
Yep.
single time.
Yep.
Nobody could get any because everybody was selling them for like $1,100 and people were buying them.
And if nobody would pay those prices,
Yep.
nobody would sell them for those prices.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
The problem is there are people that are willing to pay those prices.
Yeah. But look how far we have come. Like, how long has PS5 been out? More than 4 years.
Yeah.
And we have finally got to the point where like people are just like, oh yeah, I already have my PS. Like I
Yeah.
got a PS5. Like
Yeah.
I
You
have
can,
my father-in-law has a PS5.
yeah. You
Like
can
so,
finally
like
get them
is
now.
this? Yeah. So is this going to be like another thing that's going to happen with Prismatic Evolutions? Like, is it going to be like another year, 2 years? Like, are we going to be out of Scarlet Violet to finally be able to get a decent amount of cards from Prismatic Evolutions?
Yeah, that's the
Who's to say?
problem. So, like, for PS5, it's a different story because there's only a PlayStation only comes out every 6, 7 years, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So, like, it stinks if you can't get your hands on it earlier in the life cycle, but it's not a huge deal because, like, consoles last a long time. The PS4 is still current.
yeah,
So, like, the PS5 is going to be current for a very long time. The problem with set releases for Pokemon is they're only current, they're only in the rotation for a couple of years, and they really only are current until the next set release.
yeah,
So, like, then the next question is if this sort of thing continues, is Pokemon going to push back the next releases until they have caught up on distributing more Prismatic Evolutions? We all know the answer is no. Pokemon's not going to stop. They have their set cadence. We know that the next set's going to come out in what,
Yeah.
2, 3 months,
March.
whatever. March.
March.
So like they're not going to change their cadence of releases. So then are we going to just be, I mean, well, we saw it with 151. Like they're still slowly churning out 151 stuff. Like we have the Blooming Waters bundle. So we're just at this point where like you're probably gonna have to wait, well, if ever. Because like have you seen the videos of the Blooming
Dude.
Waters issues with the releases at Costco's, the early
Yeah.
releases at Costco's, and people literally physically damaging each other to get these boxes. And it's 151, a set that
Yeah.
released a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Like, so are we going to see this with Prismatic Evolutions for the next 2 years? Because we're still seeing it with 151 after a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I
I almost feel like you're right, Orin. I think we are. I mean, it's gonna be like that because it's like one of the biggest like releases since 151. Well, I don't know. 151 wasn't really this big, was it, Orin? Were we
no,
in this?
no.
'Cause I don't
Yeah,
remember
the
being
151 is when I started collecting again.
okay.
And you could get 151 without too much trouble.
Yeah.
Like I could go online for a couple months. I could go online and go on retailers and order ETBs. And
Yeah.
um hindsight, I mean, I'm not a scalper, but hindsight, I should have bought and sat on the ETBs. We probably bought a total like 10 ETBs and we opened them all because that's just who we are.
Yeah.
We're collectors. We like buying and opening, and we sell singles, but we don't typically invest. But like now 151 ETBs are $150. And like
Yeah.
we bought them all for $50 or less. And
Yeah.
like you mentioned, yeah, 151 was not like this Prismatic Evolutions. Like you could get 151 pretty easily for a couple months.
Yeah. That's crazy. So
So
if this is the future, like I said it myself, I said it in our chat with the Pokemon business bros that we have. Like I'm like, this set has almost officially bumped me out of physical cards. Like I will be more than happy. I mean, I like we got already all we wanted from Prismatic Evolutions. Like I'll be more than happy to just be on TCG Live and Pocket and just be like, you know what? I'll be up to date, but I'll be up to date in electronical form.
yeah,
I'm more than happy with that because we're still up to date. So I don't know. I'm saying that now because I'm still on
hello.
a low with this,
Yeah.
but like it's affected me, and it's like I really enjoy this hobby, and the fact that you actually would spend that much time and money and only get trash, that's also upsetting. It's
Yeah.
like wow, you know.
Because you're
But
actually going to open it. You were buying it to open it.
I'll buy
That's
it
the
and
thing.
open it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me just I don't want to be I want to end this conversation soon. But one other thing I've noticed that I kind of do think is neat that some local card shops are doing. I just still don't like the pricing. Some local card shops I've heard, if you're going to a local card shop that has Prismatic Evolutions and they're selling it at those, insane rates, market prices, the current market value. If you're there to buy it, to open, to use for play, they'll give you a substantial discount because you're not buying it to resell it.
hmm.
I think that's cool, depending on how large of a discount it is,
Yeah,
because it's not like they're discounting it down to MSRP, which stinks. Like it really, like I really, I just, I hate that people are being charged over MSRP at a retail store.
yeah,
That doesn't feel right. That doesn't
yeah,
feel good. Especially for our young people that are into this, that are into playing at leagues and stuff. That just hurts. But I do like the idea of, hey, if you're gonna buy it to open it in store to prove, like, to show, demonstrate that you're not scalping it, then we'll give you a discount. I thought that was kind of nice.
Wow. Yeah. If I would have known that, maybe yeah, I probably would have
Well,
tried it, but I don't know.
I don't know if any of our local card shops are
Yeah.
doing it, but I've heard on Reddit that there are local card
There are
shops
some.
in areas that are doing that. So
Got it.
I just
Got
thought it
it.
was a neat concept.
Okay.
That at least kind of,
Relieves the
combats
pressure.
that. Yeah, it'll
Right.
yeah. But like no, this problem isn't going to go away. But again, all things are cyclical. I mean, let's be real. Pokemon's really popular right now. Not, I mean, Pokemon's always popular, but it's like excessively popular right now. It'll go down at some point. It always does. It goes in waves. So there'll be another wave where all the stores have everything on their shelves. It's just gonna be a matter of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Until then.
yep. I
If
mean,
then. I don't know.
that's all I have on that topic.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, and whoever puts it at market value, it's just like, what are you that I don't even know who puts it there. But like it's just kind of it's mind-boggling to me that it would go that much. That and actual people would, yeah, like you said, like if they would just stop, guys. There's no
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
That's that topic. I mean, I got it out now, but I got a lot on my chest.
yeah. No, I'm glad you guys want the singles route on TCG Player. That's a
Yeah.
smart play.
And
I like that
but then
idea.
that's also too, like, are we supporting scalpers by being on TCG?
No, because scalping. So if you're buying singles, that is defying purchasing from scalpers. Because scalping, the definition of scalping is buying new products at retail to intentionally create a scarcity and then reselling for above MSRP.
Got
So
it.
like scalping can only happen with sealed product. You can't
Okay.
scalp a single card. There's no such thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
Okay.
you can't buy a single card retail.
Right.
So there's no such thing as scalping a retail card
Okay. That makes
or
sense.
a single card, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
can
Okay.
scalping only applies to sealed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe if I would have known the term better, I probably wouldn't have said that.
No, no, you're fine. I think a lot of people don't fully understand the implications of scalping. But yeah, it's scalping specifically refers to sealed products from retail stores. Yeah.
Got it.
Well, I'm glad we talked about that. I mean, it's nice to just like, at least get it off of our chests and like just express, our frustration. Um,
Yep.
it's it's sad.
Yeah. It literally almost booted me. Like if my wife wouldn't have bought those cards last night, I would have been
Yeah.
like, you know what, forget Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm going with TCG Live. Like
Yeah.
forget. I'm not gonna deal with this. But
I am really happy that we do have TCG Live and Pocket because those
yeah.
Pocket especially scratches the pack opening itch
Oh yeah.
and Live scratches the playing itch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I agree with that.
okay. Well, I think we should move on. Yeah, let's move on.
Sure.
So, this is a much shorter discussion, and I want to just talk about this coin display. So, I showed you guys on Amazon a link last episode of this display that I had bought. Unfortunately, it is not going to work.
Mm.
So, let me just show you something here. I do have an actual challenge coin. So, I mentioned
Ooh.
what a challenge coin is. Have you ever seen a challenge coin, Ivan?
I think you told me, but say it again.
So they're like a military or like a police thing. And basically the concept is like, let's say you're trying to get into a military base, or like, let's say that you're on site at a police station, and like to indicate that like you belong there, like they're challenging that you should be there. Like you can show your token, like, yes, I belong here.
Oh,
That's
cool.
the definite like that's why they're called challenge tokens, because
Got it.
it's like, do you belong here? Like, should you be here?
Hmm.
So like
It's your badge.
so
Yeah.
this is a challenge token from the Heber Heights Police Division. So I haven't really ever talked about what I do on the show. But I work on 911 phone systems. So I'm in police stations a lot. And this is one of the police stations that I work at, the
Mm.
Heber Heights Police Division in Heber Heights, Ohio, near Dayton. So representing Heber Heights.
Nice.
So this is a challenge token, and they're pretty thick, they're pretty big. I want to show you the size comparison to like a Pokemon coin. So here's my Mew from 151. Oh, I'm
Oh,
dropping it.
job
Hold on.
stuff.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So here's my Mew coin for the 151 UPC. So it's a little bit smaller in diameter, but then it's also a lot thinner.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So you can see that the Pokemon coin is quite a bit thinner, probably like a half to three times thinner.
Yeah.
Now, I was hoping that the challenge coin display would work for Pokemon cards. And I'll demonstrate both. So the challenge coin, honestly, this display doesn't even really work well for challenge coins.
No,
Like
wow.
the gap in the slots, it's too big.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I
why?
would want my challenge coins to be at like that angle, but like that's what it's at when it's resting, which is not cool. Like it's too angled.
Hmm.
Now I can get a Pokemon coin to sit in there just like I can the challenge coin. But like look at how angled it is because of
Yeah,
how
no.
thin the coin is. And like it's very yeah, see how easy it fell? So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to redact my statement from last episode. Um, challenge coin displays are not going to work. So
Wow.
I'm back to the drawing board on that.
Okay.
I
Interesting.
do still want to figure out a display because I did recently buy a collection of coins that I wanted to show off because I'm really excited about them.
Hmm.
But I'll have to wait till another episode. If you've come across if you're listening to this or watching our show, if you've come across a way to display on a shelf, like I'm not looking for a binder. Like I want these to be on my shelf. So like if you've come across a good way to display coins on a shelf, please let us know in the comments because
Please.
I want to buy one.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got on that. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Don't buy
Yeah.
a challenge coin display.
Don't buy them.
Oh, before we move on, let me share one more thing, one more purchase. So I've been talking about Pokemon shoes for a while because Clark's had a Clark's X Pokemon collab, and they did these Clark's shoes, and like there was one for Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, and they were cool, but like I never bought them; they were too expensive. I finally bought some Pokemon kicks,
Nice.
and like I really like them,
Yeah.
and I just want to tell you. They're not like a real brand. I mean, like the brand, it says ground up, whoever that is. Like, I don't
Hmm.
know. But I got them from Walmart.com for $10.
What? That's a steal.
I know. Like, so now I've got a fun pair of kicks. Like, I'm not a shoe guy. I'm also not the guy that wears Pokemon shoes out and about. Like,
Yeah.
that's not who I am. But like, I will wear these to like a gaming convention.
Yeah.
So these are going to be like my gaming convention or like my pre-release event shoes, you know. So
Okay.
like next time we do a pre-release, I'll probably wear these.
Yeah, because then you can use your backpack too.
Right, exactly. So um these are a special occasion footwear,
Nice.
but I'm excited
I
about them.
That's pretty sweet. I mean, I like them.
Thank
When
you.
I saw them, I'm like, ooh, those are pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
I
excited.
like them.
Gracias.
They nada, bro.
Okay.
I would support them.
Well, let's move on. Tell me about rotation, Ivan.
All right, so pretty big pretty big rotations coming up. I know one of the biggest cards I think that we've all been using. I know I've already started rearranging my deck and not using it is the Radiant Greninja.
Oof.
Um, as we all know, it's got the concealed cards ability where you discard an energy card from your hand in order to use the ability. Once during your turn, you may draw two cards. So I've kind of gotten away from him, and I'm using one of the stadiums. I want to say it's Menegoza. Is it Menegoza?
Mesa Goza.
Mesa Goza. I think where you can discard an energy and you can draw a card. Um, so I've kind of used that one already, but yeah, just for everybody's info, the standard rotation for 2025 competitive play will go into effect on April 11th, 2025. That's for Pokemon Play,
In
April
person.
11th, 2025.
Yeah.
But March 27th, 2025 is Pokemon TCG Live.
Okay.
Yep.
Good to know.
So,
So basically what's happening is any cards F and
yeah.
prior will no longer be legal for play.
Yep. That's
Okay.
your all your gradients,
R-
Charizards,
Radiant.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Radiants. Charizards, Greninjas, all your Palkias,
Oh
um
wow.
yeah.
This is a big rotation.
What's the face? Chimpao.
Yeah.
Um those are like the biggest ones that I think are gonna be hit.
Okay.
Oh, the I can't really think of it off the top of my head, but it's the one when you have if you have seven cards in the lost zone, you can get two energy cards. The Mirage, I think it's called. It has to do with with oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. But it's one of the biggest cards. If you're into the lost zone using those cards, that one's gonna be a big effect on
Okay.
the decks. Yeah. I can't remember the card. I'm so sorry, guys.
No
But yeah,
problem.
all the rated Fs are
Okay.
gonna be out by March 27th and then April 11th.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. April 11th, 2025.
Good deal. Yeah, I don't really have much more on that one. It's just good information to have. So just remember
Yep.
March 27th for TCG Live, April 11th for live in-person play,
Yep.
play Pokemon events. That will make my Blissey deck illegal
Eesh.
because one of the trainers that is really utilized in that deck, man, I don't remember the name of it. That's going to be out of rotation, so that'll basically make that deck not usable.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a shame.
Not that
It's
I've
it's
really
hard.
been,
It's a tough. Yeah.
yeah, I haven't really been playing in person with it anyway, so it's not a huge deal. But
Yeah. Ah.
okay, dude. Well, I want to move on to our last talking point, which is probably going to be a little bit longer than the two that we just went over, and that's the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't really want to get too in depth on what the announcement was. If you haven't seen the announcement from Nintendo, they didn't really say much. They more so showed. And they gave us a lot of visuals as to what it looks like. That it's bigger. That the Joy Cons are magnetic this time around, rather than on a rail. Um, and so like that video has been dissected to death by shows and YouTubers that are much more, you know, into hardware and video games than we are. But so I more so want to talk about this from like a Pokemon fan's perspective. And so my first question to you, Ivan, about the Nintendo Switch 2 is, will you be buying it? And if so, when?
Hmm. That's a really good question. Um, I don't think I will. I think it's gonna be more so of because we just bought our Switch and we love it. And I got a Switch Lite. I think getting into the Switch 2, it doesn't really seem feasible for us because we already play it on the dock. It's not something that we kind of play horribly. Is that even a word? Like we don't play it
Portably? Yeah, that makes sense.
portably. Yeah, like we don't play it portably. So it's literally it won't be any effect for us. Because I mean, if anything, I would buy it. It would have to replace my light because then if I want to be playing on a bigger screen and use a bigger controller, but see, that's the thing. Like I don't even use the Joy-Cons. Like Joy-Cons stay with the regular Switch in the dock.
Yeah.
So I really don't see us buying it just for this. I mean, it would be just for the fact of just like upgrading it to like a bigger screen. But to that, like I'm already playing it on my bigger screen. Like and
Yeah.
we're already using better controllers for me. Like we went out and bought awesome controllers. So I don't think I am gonna be buying the Switch 2.
Now, the thing is, there will be exclusives that
Mm.
will only play on Switch 2.
Oh,
Yeah, because the Switch 2, it's not just going to be a bigger screen and new Joy-Cons. It's also going to have new internals. Um,
okay.
Fortunately, we did not know this until the announcement. Fortunately, it is backwards compatible, not only with your digital titles from the eShop, but also your physical cartridges. So
Okay.
that's really nice. I'm very happy with Nintendo for doing that. Um, but yes, like it is going to be upgraded in terms of
Well,
its processing capabilities. So there will be games coming out for Switch 2 that will not be playable on the original Switch.
wow.
So with that information in hand, will there eventually be a time when you'll buy the Switch 2? And if so, when?
Then yeah, then yes, I am waffling again. So yes, I think I would, Orin. And I think I don't know when if something were to come out where like it needs to be like Pokemon related, then I think I would. I think that's probably would be but the best time. Because then it will probably become like a variety, like not a variety pack, but what do you call it, like a dual pack, like kind of like Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 came
A
out with the Switch
bundle. A bundle.
bundle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, if it's a bundle, absolutely. I think I
Yeah.
would take the advantage of getting the bundle with the PS2, the Switch 2.
No, I have the same exact answer. Like I'm at a point in my gaming routine, my gaming life, where I love Nintendo games, but it's a rare game. It's a rare exclusive that's going to get me to buy a console. And they didn't really show much gameplay footage. We did see some footage of a new Mario Kart game. And I love Mario Kart, but a new Mario Kart is not enough to get me to buy a
Mm,
new console. However, if Pokemon ZA is a Switch
mm,
2 exclusive, I'll probably buy it then.
yeah,
Also, well, okay, if Pokemon ZA is playable on original Switch, then I'm not going to buy a Switch 2.
got it.
But we all can be guaranteed that the next mainline Pokemon games are going to be Switch 2 exclusives. I guarantee you that. And when that time comes, I'll be buying a Switch 2.
Yeah.
And if I have the patience and self-discipline to wait that long, hopefully I'll find like I'm really bummed that I didn't buy the Scarlet Violet OLED Switch. I already had my OLED Switch though.
Ah,
So like there was no point in me buying the Scarlet Violet one. That would have been just a waste of time. But if I can have the patience and self-discipline to wait until the next mainline Pokemon game, if there is, and we all know there will be, if there's an exclusive special edition Pokemon Switch 2 for the new mainline games, I'll buy that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna have to take a break, man.
Oh, I mean, we can actually stop there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I got
I understand. Yeah, I'm with
it.
you. We need a break if you catch
Yes.
our drift.
Yes.
So we're actually basically at time anyway. So we're gonna wrap up, and we basically had our whole conversation on Switch 2 that I wanted to have. So that will conclude our show for this week. And if you want to support our show, please check out pokecollab.com. There's a link to our merch site. That is one of two ways that we really want you to support us. One, continue to watch us, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Two, check out our merch,
Yeah.
pokecollab.com, and then check out our merch. And we love that you guys are joined us here today. Thanks for watching. We are grateful to have you. And again, this is Poke Collab, where we collect, train, and battle together.
See you guys on the next episode.